Hello and welcome to lesson 5. So in today's lesson we are going to learn about selection. What is a selection? How would a selection look like in Python? Then what are the conditions? Okay, and what if you have more than two choices in a selection? So first thing first, what is a selection? Selection is basically a choice. In programming, this choice would generally mean you have at least two options or sometimes more to choose from. So in this example, we have a green color diamond in the middle that asks how old are you. If you are above 18, then you proceed with the program at the blue box below, and if you are not above 18, it will show you access denied. So this green part here is called a selection. Now, how does this selection look like in Python? In Python, it is also commonly known as the if-else statement. So if a condition happens, okay, if it's true, do this. If not or else, you do something else. Now, the condition is usually in the form of a Boolean expression. Now, there is a rule how you write your if-else statement. Number one, your if and else must be in small letters. At the end of each, the line must have a colon, and there must be a space or an indentation to each set of instructions. Now, here's an example of how the code would look like. If the user input is above or equal to 18, then you can run the program. If not, you print out access denied, and you exit the program. Now, the conditions, okay, like you've seen here, this is above or equal to 18. The conditions are as follows. You have two equal signs for equal to, greater than, less than, greater or equal, less or equal to, and here is a very unique but commonly used symbol, which is the not equal to. Now, let's try this activity together. So we are going to create a user input and ask the user to key in a number 1 to continue. Now, when you have a user input, by default, it is always a string. So we have to convert this input from a string to an integer using the function int open bracket close bracket. So this integer function is to convert a string or a float, sometimes a float, into an integer. And then we can compare. If user input is equals to 1, you print thank you for following instructions. If not, print you did not follow instructions. So let's give this a try. First, I'm going to get my user input equals to input, press 1 to continue. Now, there's two ways of doing this. You can user input equals to integer user input, or from here you could use user input equals to integer input and press 1 to continue. So what happens here is I have the input function inside the integer function. This is also doable. Okay, you could give it a try. You could pause the video, give both methods a try. You would still get the same results. Now, once I've got my user input, I need to make my comparison. So if user input is equal to 1, what do I do? Colon, print thank you for following instructions. If not, which is your else, print you did not follow let's give this a run. So press 1 to continue. Let's say I choose not to follow instruction. Okay, you did not follow instruction and the program ends because the user input has been compared to the number 1. I type 3, which makes the bottom instruction executed instead. So this is the result. This is what is expected. So this, you could do it this way, or if I could show you really quickly, I'm going to erase this part. I'm going to erase this part. You more or less get this. This part. So user input equals to integer, open bracket, input, open bracket, press 1 to continue. And if I run, I'll still get the, if I press 3 again, I still get the same, you did not follow instructions. If I run it again, this time, it will say thank you for following instructions. So both method would give you the same result. Okay, both are workable. Now, what if there is more than 2 choices? If you have 3 or more choices, the middle choices you use elif. It's a short merge of else if. So the first condition or the first selection is always an if. The last one would be an else if. In between, you can have as many as you want. It has to be in elif. So in this example, we have A is 300, B is also 300. If A is bigger than B, you print out A is greater than B. If A is smaller than B, you print out B is greater than A. If not, you can say both A and B are the same. So let's give this activity a try. We are going to create a variable called age, and we are going to get the user input to tell their age. Now be careful, because it's a string. Upon input, you have to convert it to an integer before you make a comparison. So if the user is more than 18 years old, you print the statement, you are above 18, you can enter. If the user is exactly 18 years old, you print the statement, happy birthday. If not, you say access denied. So I've got the codes here. I've shortened the input function with the integer function. It runs just the same. So when I run the program, how old am I? I am 9 years old. I get access denied. And if I try again, this time I say I'm 18 years old, I should get happy birthday. Yep. And if I am more than 18 years old, let's say I am 99 years old, you would say you may enter. So this is how the code looks like. You could also separate out the input and the integer function. And again, your if, else if, and your else statements goes this way. Now, I would like you to try task 1, where you create a variable called password with the value ABC123. ABC123 is a string because it consists of both alphabet and numbers. So this input, you do not need to convert it to the integer. So you don't have to use the integer function. Then you make your comparison. If it's the same, say password correct. If it's not the same, you say password incorrect. Now in task 2, you are going to get 2 user input and make a comparison. Since it's integers that we are working on, numbers that we are working on, convert the numbers into integer. Okay, make the following comparison. You have variable var1 bigger than var2, var2 bigger than var1, or when they are both the same. Now in task 3, you can give it a try. You are going to make comparison with 3 variables. Once you compare your 3 variables, you print out the largest of the three. I would strongly recommend that you use a fourth variable in this comparison. It would be easier to code. Please do give this a try, and I will post the solution in the next lesson.